Yo, what is going on, guys? Today I'm bringing you guys a Madden 16 Ultimate Team gameplay, and in the first play of the game, we hit Odell Beckham Jr. for the 7-yard gain, bringing up a 2nd and 3 where we're taking off with Breeze. Instead, we throw it at the last second and throw the interception. Ronald Darby picking us off, and Ronald Darby with a huge return, and it looked like he could have ran that back for a touchdown if he didn't trip over his own teammate. And here on 2nd and 10, Russell Wilson takes off himself, open field ahead, and Wilson gets all the way down to the 5-yard line, and bringing up a 2nd and goal, in which Chris Ivory runs it in for the go-ahead touchdown. And my opponent takes a 6-0 lead early, going for 2 here, and he doesn't get it. I don't know why my opponent went for 2 there. Not really sure why. He could have just took his PAT and went up 7-zip. Instead, he's only up 6-zip, and Bmar with the huge one-handed catch, bringing us across midfield to the 38-yard line. But we take a sack on 2nd and 10, bringing up a 3rd and very long, taking off with Breeze, throwing on the run again, and throwing another interception. This time, it's Calvin Pryor on the interception, and he also gets tripped up, this time over one of our guys, and thankfully we bring him down to the 36-yard line. But here, Russell Wilson finds Chris Ivory for the first down, getting out close to midfield, bringing up a 1st and 10, in which Chris Ivory gets the ball again and gets another big gain for my opponent. And my opponent, he's getting the run game going, he's getting the passing game going. As you can see, he hits Brandon Marshall for the touchdown, but he's out of bounds, bringing up a 3rd and 5, in which he takes a sack, and we get the ball back. So great job by our defense getting a stop, but horrible job by our O-line letting up a sack. And now on 3rd and 18 from our own 5-yard line, Brandon Marshall gets another one-handed catch to bring us out across the 30-yard line. And start of the second quarter, first play, 2nd and 10, taking a shot deep, this time for Isaac Bruce, who gets the catch and gets down to the 41-yard line. So on 1st and 10, we just dump it off to Hines Ward, get a nice little gain because I felt the pressure coming. And I have not been doing a good job of incorporating the run game so far, but the passing game is working. As you can see, Isaac Bruce gets the touchdown for us, and we actually kick our PAT to take the 7-6 lead. So I haven't really been running the ball much, but it hasn't seemed to matter. Although we did throw those 2 interceptions, we do have the lead right now, almost at halftime. My opponent, he does have the ball though, and he's running dual option here with Chris Ivory, pitching it back, but he fumbles the ball, and we pick it up with Gilbert Brown. So my opponent, he could have just kept running with Russell Wilson there and probably got a huge gain. Instead, he let it go at the last second to Chris Ivory, and it was a fumble leading to a Bmar touchdown for us, and we're going for 2 now to try to make it a 9-point game, a 2-possession game, and we get it with sweetness on the toss play, and we take the 2-possession lead, running another dual option with Russell Wilson, and this time he gets it off to Chris Ivory just in time, and Ivory gets a huge gain out to about the 40-yard line, but he does get injured. So with 1 minute and 25 seconds left in the half, he hits his wide receiver there, I believe it's Travis Benjamin, on the sideline, and another dual option with Russell Wilson goes nowhere, and we bottle him up for, I believe, a loss of 1 actually. So on 2nd and 11, another read option with Russell Wilson, scrambling this time and throwing it at the last second, but throwing a dot to his wide receiver Brandon Marshall of his own, getting out to the 12-yard line, and he still hasn't called a timeout yet, and he's taken off with Wilson here, and Wilson's on the run trying to hurdle, but gets laid out at the 5-yard line, and my opponent burns his first timeout. 2nd and 3, trying to toss play Chris Ivory, but he goes nowhere, and my opponent is forced to use his last timeout. So 10 seconds left, taking an end zone shot, almost picked off, bringing up a 4th down, and instead of making a 1-possession game, going for a field goal, he instead elects to go for it on 4th and 5, and he doesn't get it, so it's still a 2-possession game going into halftime. If he would have kicked that field goal, he would only be down by, 6 points, and he would have the ball right now. Instead, he's down by 9 points, and he does start out with the ball, taking a shot deep, but DRC is there for the interception, and DRC brings the return out across midfield to the 45-yard line. So my opponent, he's making some suspect play calls already, going for 2 and not getting it, and then not going for a field goal and not getting the touchdown. And here, Isaac Bruce with a nice acrobatic over-the-shoulder catch, bringing us down to a 4th and goal eventually, and he's coming out in a field goal block formation, and we're going for that outside handoff, and it looked like we had a blocker ahead, but he didn't pick up his block, and we end up getting tackled. So now my opponent, he's got the ball back, but he is pinned deep in his own territory, bringing up a 2nd and 8 with Wilson, taking a shot and throwing another dot to Travis Benjamin, and Benjamin gets all the way out to the 40-yard line. So my opponent, he's definitely not out of this game. Plenty of time. He's got all 3 timeouts. It's only the 3rd quarter. He just needs to score on this possession, and Chris Ivory breaking tackles. That will help, backstepping and getting all the way down to the 27-yard line on 2nd and 10. Wilson scrambling once again. Nobody's open. He throws it off his back foot and finding his man. I believe that's Brandon Marshall for the touchdown, and my opponent cuts the lead to 3. He's going for 2, however, and he doesn't get it. If he would have just kicked his PAT, PAT, he would only be down by 2. Instead, he's down by 3 now. And if he would have kicked his PAT the first time or kicked a field goal, he could be winning this game. So horrible decisions by my opponent, but he gets an interception here. I believe that's that's actually Williams this time for the interception. So my opponent, his defense is bailing out his horrible decisions on offense, and my opponent is looking to take the lead here, taking a shot deep. It looked like Benjamin had the catch, but he drops it in triple coverage. And on 3rd and 17, off the read option with Wilson throwing on the run and finding his man Travis Benjamin for the first down. And that brings us to the last play of the third quarter. 2nd and 11, Wilson end zone shot. Beamar has the catch, but once again, he can't get both feet in. So first play of the fourth quarter, 3rd and 11, he hits Chris Ivory for the first down, getting out across the 5-yard line. And here, I believe it's Don Terry Poe running it in for the go-ahead touchdown. And once again, my opponent is going for 2, only up by 3. He's going for 2 once again. And guess what? He doesn't get it once again. We get the interception and step out of bounds. So my opponent, he could have a lot more points on the board right now if he would have kicked his field goal, if he would have taken his PATs. Instead, he still finds himself in an 18-15 lead right now, and we're trying to change that, taking a shot deep for Brandon Marshall, who makes the catch in single coverage, bringing us down to the 4-yard line on 1st and goal. We're trying to let him stop us so we can burn more clock. And here on 2nd and goal, he's coming out in an interesting coverage here, and we take off with Breeze and find Odell Beckham Jr. for the go-ahead touchdown in the corner of the end zone and take a 22-18 lead. A very odd score nonetheless because of both of our decisions on PATs and stuff. I went for 2 once, and I actually got it to work. He's went for 2 twice, and it hasn't worked so well for him. I believe he actually went for it 3 times. It didn't work for him. Here, he gets the catch in double coverage. I have no idea how he comes down with that catch, but now with under a minute left, Wilson throwing on the run and throwing it away out of bounds. 2nd and 10, he's going for a handoff with Chris Ivory, trying to catch us off guards, but no, you cannot catch me off guard with a run play. 3rd and 11, dropping back with Wilson. This is a huge down. He's trying to take off, but he gets sacked in midfield, and Wilson is left with a 4th and very long. 4th and 15, he's running Hail Mary, and Wilson taking off by himself. Wilson has open field ahead, rushing for the first down marker, and he moves the chains, and more gets out of bounds with only 1 timeout in 16 seconds. My opponent is knocking on our doorstep looking for the win, finding Travis Benjamin on the sideline, but the huge hit forces the fumble, and we win the game off that. My opponent completes the pass to Travis Benjamin, and then we get an entirely just incredibly huge hit stick, forcing the fumble, and we recover it and win the game. Absolutely incredible finish. I don't know how the heck that happened, but I believe that's our new guy, Rashad Jones, on that huge hit, and Pac-Man Jones picks it up and returns it for a good gain, and we win the game. So leave a like in this video if you guys enjoyed that incredible ending. Subscribe if you're new, comment down below, and I'll see you guys in my next Madden 16 video tomorrow. Peace out, guys.